Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it. What we're going to do here is it's sort of wide ranging, and I'm going to just throw out some stuff and let you go. And I mean, we've done a series of these. You're probably the 8th one we've done in the last 2 months. So looking very forward to kind of talking to you and seeing where you are on some stuff. You to open a law practice in Columbus, Georgia. You really didn't have Columbus ties when you came here, did you?
Didn't have what?
Columbus ties when you came here, did you?
No, I knew 3 people in Columbus. Joel Wooten and Jed Buchanan, who I was in law school with, and Betsy Liebert, who's my cousin. I didn't know her well. She's like a 5th cousin. When I came down here to interview for a job, it was my 2nd trip to Columbus. The first was when I was in college. A bunch of us went to Panama City and for some reason came through Columbus. And I swore I'd never go back because all I saw was red lights and cops.
Well, I talked to too. You say you're meticulous. Where does that come from? I mean, is that just part of your DNA?
I don't know. I guess so. I don't know where else it would come from.
Describe.
You know, Barbara Streisand was born with the ability to sing like an angel.
Okay.
I was born with the ability to work hard.
What's the top characteristic a good trial lawyer needs?
Objectivity. Abraham Lincoln said that a lawyer's time is his stock in trade, and that's true. But the lawyer's most important stock in trade is objectivity, and it's hard to maintain, and sometimes it's hard to confront. Clients often don't want objectivity. They want somebody to do what they want them to do, or tell them what they want to hear. And you know, the lawyer's job is to be objective.
Do juries want objectivity?
Yeah. Just never mislead the judge or jury.
That sounds like common sense, though.
Yeah, but it's not always followed.
When you came into this profession, you had graduated from the University of Georgia, or before you went to law school, you were a journalism major, right?
Right.
What's the difference in a good journalist and a good trial lawyer?
Most trial lawyers talk better than most journalists, but in terms of the digging, it's the same thing. I write legal briefs in inverted pyramid style, and insist that the young lawyers in the firm do it that way too. It's the best way to communicate.
So most people don't know that you are a home builder.
I built 44 homes.
Successful home builder?
Well, my homes were successful. We had a real estate depression back then. I went broke.
In what years was that?
72 through 74, and then really into 75 when I was still in law school.
So by the time you went to law school,
when I went to law school, I had 12 houses unsold, 2 pieces of property, and owed $250,000, drawing 10% interest a year.
That's not a very good way to start law school.
No, it wasn't.
How long did it take you to dig out of that?
1983.
Are there any similarities in building and law? I mean, did it teach you how to run a business? I mean...
Yeah, I probably did do that. You also learn to do the duty that lies nearest thee, do the next task. You only do things one at a time. You walk 1 foot, next foot, 1 foot, next foot. That's how you build a house. You lay 1 brick at a time, and you build a case the same way.
I heard a judge say that lawyers are paid to think on their feet. And right now you don't see a lot of lawyers in the courtroom thinking on their feet. They're coming in more programmed. You think that's accurate?
I don't know. I don't know how to judge that. I'm not a big believer. I'm pretty good on my feet, but I'm not a big believer in trying to wing it by thinking on my feet. My model is Winston Churchill, who was famous for his supposedly spontaneous remarks during parliamentary debate. You know how he did it?
How?
Churchill would plan for days in advance for parliamentary debate and anticipate what different people were going to say. And he'd come up with responses to what they were going to say. And then he'd guess what order these things were going to come up on. And he'd take I think he used a 4x5 piece of sheet of paper, stiff paper. And he would write his ad libs on these pieces of paper. And he'd put them in the order he thought he was going to need them. And then he'd punch a hole in the top left corner and tie it with blue ribbon and have it in his pocket. And when the debate started, he'd pull it out of his pocket and hold it down like this. And Chuck Williams would say X, and he'd say, "Ah, yes, but," and have this fabulous ad lib retort. Had they thought about it 4 days ahead of time.
Is that what a good lawyer does?
Yeah. Preparation, it's all preparation. Obsessive preparation and hard work. So I like to tell people I've set the Georgia verdict record 4 times. First in medical malpractice, second in trucking, third in products liability, fourth in business tort.
Are you still as active now?
Yeah.
Are you still carrying the same load you were carrying?
I'm working as hard as I did back in the mid-90s. Have a great time. And I always thought that, I just didn't want to starve. My goal was simply not to starve.
It looks like you pretty much accomplished that.
I did accomplish that, yeah. I mean, I didn't set out to make a bunch of money.
But you have.
But I have. But that's
Is that just a byproduct?
that's a byproduct of working hard and enjoying what I do.